while we were rambling, we we fired up OAW Entertainment. He puts in a super chat. Okay, now I'm triggered. Michigan loses. UL Lafayette loses. Yeah. Even if the Saints lose, fine. It shouldn't ruin my day. But if my fantasy team loses too, but that's different because you're actually losing money. Maybe. Or you're losing a prize. I don't know. I've never played that.
I was going to say, yeah, I can't relate to this at all. I've never done the fantasy thing. But yeah, like if you've got a vested interest in it. And also, I'm not saying that with the podcast that DJ's talking about that I recorded all those years ago, I remember part of that and saying that. And when I say, and like I can't remain completely consistent, but I do remember saying that, and I will take up for my earlier self that said that, because it's kind of a twofold thing, or almost like contradictory feelings on it, right? I have seen really horrible Star Trek and been depressed about it. And you know what I mean? Just with that example, my problem is I'm with a lot of people that are obsessed with sports and treat sports, in my mind, very much like a lot of people treat fandom. It just becomes a...
You were more complaining about the inconsistency.
It's the inconsistency. It's that you have a double standard, right?
Yeah, that's the word.
So I don't think you should bring that to work, and I wouldn't bring the Star Trek thing to work either, but I also think, as much as I could help it, but if I'm like a little gloomy that day because my feelings got hurt, but I'm still doing my job and doing what I'm supposed to be doing, I think that's kind of understandable. Like, I'm not going to come in and like be a jerk to people or like complain about it and ramble about it, but if somebody's like, because you feel the way you feel, and people are entitled to their feelings, so if you're like, okay, you know, Cap, you don't, because everybody where I used to work at the mortuary called me Captain Logan. If somebody came up to me and was like, hey, you seem a little down today, I don't know if I would even tell them, because they would think that I was being ridiculous. But like, I might be like, Enterprise had the worst finale of almost anything I've ever seen, and we weren't getting any more Star Trek after that. It was hard to say if we ever would see another show. Yeah, it bothered me. It hurt my feelings. In the same way that you know, some of the Discovery and Picard stuff has really bothered me and kind of wrecked me to my core. And if somebody's sports team loses a huge game and they're done for the season, or it was their first shot in like 25 years at a major title or whatever, or trophy or whatever, and they didn't manage it, I get why you have feelings about that. I don't understand why that person, because it's not a nerdy thing, because it's a popular thing, because it's about sports, because it's about academia, ostensibly. I don't know why it did ostensibly with that, with air quotes, but like ostensibly. I don't know why you're entitled to those feelings, but I'm not. That's what I don't understand about it. So let's all be adults, but also, this is not me belittling you for having feelings about it. This is me not understanding why mine don't count. That's what I'm saying. It's all about what you're invested in. You don't have to understand why I give that much of a crap about Star Trek, in the same way I don't have to understand why you care that much about football. But don't pretend like you painting your face and holding up signs and screaming at a team and then they lose and you walk away sad is any different from me wearing a Starfleet uniform at a convention, and then the next week Enterprise ends a 17-year Star Trek run in the worst possible way it could, and I don't know if we're ever going to get more Star Trek again. And then, years later, when it does, it's also the worst thing ever. Yeah, I'm allowed to have feelings about that. And so are you. But don't act like we're different. We're the same. That's my point.
Just unifying people left and right. That's what Cap's all about. Yeah, it's the same thing. Because, like, how many people would be like, it's just a show, dude. Calm down. But then if you say it's just a game, like,
well,
it's not just a game.
Okay, well, neither do you. You don't get my investment.
Yeah, people are invested in different things.
And I understand. And I'm entitled to my investment.
I'm only telling you.
What you're basically saying at that point is story doesn't matter. And that's preposterous. At the point where you tell me that I'm a child because I care about fictional characters, there's no way you don't have a double standard about that. There's not a person on the planet that doesn't have a double standard about that if they say that.
especially if you're comparing it to sports, which is actually a game.
Yeah.
Very strange. But honestly, I think.
But I'm not saying my thing's better than your thing at all. I'm saying that we're the same. I'm saying that if you're and you've heard other people say this, of course. This is not my idea, but it's just true. Nerds are sports fans, and sports fans are nerds. Like, of course they are. And we can all take it too far. So again, let's be adults, but let's also not take ourselves too seriously. Like, if you can wear your face paint, then I can wear a Star Trek uniform. Like let's not take ourselves too seriously.
I still think tribalism is more apparent in sports because you don't have people that like, I only watch movies. Well, I guess you do, but not as often as like, I only watch movies from this studio and then I don't watch anything else or whatever. Like, I don't think you have any sports fans that are like people who watch movies or just like, I just like to watch any game that's on. I'll watch it. I'll give it a chance, even if it's like.
No, they get invested in a particular team. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But OAW Entertainment, $2 super chat. Whoa, Cap. Geek feelings matter too. Yeah, that's all he's saying.
That's all I'm saying.
And then we got one more